Welcome, one and all, to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast for our review of AEW Full Gear. I am your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Tony G. Like, share, subscribe. I wanted to keep it quiet in case didn't want to let the secret out of the bag, but this is the place to be, folks. This is the best source for all wrestling-related content, previews, predictions, reviews, and results.
Are you implying that I'm a little loud?
I would never do such a thing. I am Tony fucking G, your 10-time champion, and let's just rip this duct tape off of the fucking scab right out of the gate. Neither of us were able to retain, regain, and recapture the RWP championship from one asshole in Iowa, Chicken, who did retain at an AEW show that he, probably was half aware was on.
Rapscallion ne'er-do-well that he is. Yes. That no good chicken.
Yeah.
That rotten, evil, just snarling sack of snake feces chicken. I mean, I know. But
Yes.
What about poor me?
It's the Tony show, Phil. Come on, get with it.
Come on. Sheesh.
All right. So
we are in Compound G this evening.
We are, yes. And obviously, we are about 24 hours removed from AEW Full Gear 2021. We're going to go over this. We're going to talk about most of the matches. We're going to give some thoughts and some praise and probably shit on some stuff, and I think rightfully so. So without further ado, before we get interrupted by some asshole in Iowa, I'll say it again. Let's start out with the first match, which was surprisingly, wish I would have seen this one coming, and damn, it was a perfect move, but it almost ruined the rest of the show. MJF and Darby Allin opened this thing up.
Costing me a tiebreaker point.
Yeah, it did, but you know what? I don't even care about anything else right now because I could watch that match 10 times over and not get bored with it. This thing was fantastic. When MJF made the claim that you've got four pillars of AEW, the young guns of AEW, MJF, Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, and one Darby Allin. There's a reason he said that. And having two of them in this match, you knew it was going to be good. And I said this on the prediction show. This could be match of the night. And it was, for me, this thing was incredible. These guys started out jockeying for position so fluently. It's like they'd done this match 1,000 times over. Neither one could get an advantage. They were doing things that only guys with their youth but experience and their athleticism could do. Darby's a little undersized, but it didn't matter here because MJF flowed with him so well during the transitions. Neither one could get an advantage. It was beautiful. I love this. It was amazing. I love the opening.
This is one of the matches I really watched intently, and it really shined. And you're right, this was I'm not going to call it match of the night, but yes, this Philosopher King here, absolutely right. Vote Phil KOE 2024. You know it's the right thing to do. But yes, I'm going to have to say, yeah, this is at least first or second match of the night, and it was a great match for all parties involved. It put Darby over even in loss, and MJF he's like the final boss of pro wrestling heel work now. I mean, he's so good. And even as a heel, he puts over the four pillars, as you said, and that puts them over for years to come.
What I loved about this was after they got the smooth transition opening sequence out of the way that everybody appreciated, they got back into, it's not like they had to have each other's match. They were both able to have their match with each other, and it worked seamlessly. Eventually, you get him outside of the ring. MJF is outside. He throws Darby back in, starts taunting the crowd perfectly, and with precision timing, just happens to look back towards the ring where Darby Allin is barreling out like a cannonball, and he lays his shit in so thick. It always looks so good.
Yeah, it's not that just, I'm going to look at you for like 30 seconds and wait and like, oh!
Yeah, MJF times it so well that he doesn't see the other guy coming until it's already too late. He's not standing there waiting. It was perfect. And by the time that this thing got back into about the latter third of the match, they again started going back and forth. Neither guy could really get an advantage over the other. The coffin drops to the outside, to the side of the ring apron. I mean, good God. And even did he even hit a tombstone at one point? Like, everything was just top shelf in this match. I could
on the ring apron.
Yeah, I couldn't crow about this thing enough. Eventually, you did have the kerfuffle, as I expected, but it never even got to the ring. You had, what was it? Spears was coming down with a chair. Sting comes in with a bat, neutralizes him. Wardlow pops in, also gets neutralized because it's Sting. They never even touched the ring. So kudos to them for knowing better than to ruin a good thing. But it does give MJF just a little bit of time to pull the ring out of his tights. First, he gets the skateboard and has Darby, come on, hit me with it. Darby, no, I'm taking the high road. And as he turns around, the finger gets the ring. Bam. 1, 2, 3. MJF gets the win just by cheating the right amount. It was perfect. I could have stayed for a little bit bigger of an end, but since this was the opening match, it was perfect. Like, this was perfect for me. I don't care what you rate it. 4.75. Easy match of the night. I loved this. It was perfect.
I wasn't going to go quite that high.
It was perfect.
I was going to go 4.5. I liked it, but wow. And wait.
Loved it.
We've got a couple of comments here. You no good sniveling sack of snake feces.
Yeah.
Boo.
I loved it. I don't care.
Great.
I loved the match.
Oh, it was a great match. Great match. I can't deny what you have to say there. What was next on the card, sir?
Let's see. Next up, we did have, surprisingly, the tag team title match, FTR and the Lucha Bros. Now, this was not for the AAA tag titles that FTR won from the Lucha Bros the first time. This was the AEW tag team titles. So, kind of what I feared happened in this one. The first time around, FTR kind of was allowed to have their match, and the Lucha Brothers adhered to the FTR match. This time around, it was the other way. And after a year or so now, FTR has kind of fallen into the same trap that the rest of the tag teams have. They're guilty of just being in the ring at the same time for no good goddamn reason. I mean, they tried to make sense of it as much as they could, but they've fallen into a bad habit of it. And it happened a few times in this one. Early on, I liked the spot where I think they caught Phoenix and they were both on the outside and they tossed him into the ring apron or the guardrail. And then I think Penta came out. They caught him in overhead into Phoenix. That was a kind of they try to make it work, but then there's a little bit too much convoluted double teaming when there doesn't need to be. The other one I noticed that honestly shocked the hell out of me was later in the match when I think Penta was in the ring with both members of FTR. Phoenix is outside wanting a tag. I thought that'd be the other way around, but hey, who knew? I don't know. Made no sense. And let me just say this. Rey Fenix is fucking phenomenal. If I could just get one match with Rey Mysterio before Rey retires, Mysterio, Phoenix, holy shit. Like, Phoenix is so
still
seamless.
My beating heart.
He's doing stuff that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, but it doesn't matter because it's just so flawless in execution. I enjoyed the match, but I was really disappointed that FTR really kind of fell into some bad habits that other tag teams normally do. And that really hurt it for me. I only gave it 3. The Lucha Brothers did end up getting the win as we expected. Well, I expected.
I was hoping for FTR.
As was I, but
I really liked this match apparently a lot more than you did. I
had a feeling.
3.5. The only thing I have wrong was the wrong folks one.
I could have gone higher, but I found myself getting taken out of this. It totally even got involved as a manager should for once. And I don't know. There was just something about it that disappointed me. And I feel like it kind of fell on FTR's shoulders, not the Lucha Brothers. Lucha Brothers.
We'll get to managers getting involved as they should or shouldn't a little later.
That's fair. Now, I don't think this will be the last time you see these teams go at it. So if it is a trilogy, I think FTR has got to go over. But you don't have to do it right away. So we'll see where this goes. Moving down the card, number 3 of the night, Bryan Danielson and Miro in the finale, I guess, of the title tournament. Super duper.
Who's going to face off against the winner of the main event?
Yeah, tournaments are fine and all, but this didn't feel like a big tournament to me. I don't know. So it didn't really matter. I didn't care because we were getting a match that I actually wanted to see with Miro and Bryan Danielson. Shocker here. Two polished guys that came from a legitimate company before AEW, not a bar or a barn or a field. And they were able to put together a match that made a lot of damn sense. This was great. This was brilliant. I loved this match a lot because Miro is doing what Miro should have done from the get-go in AEW, and that's being a big, hulking badass, just overpowering everybody in the ring because he's going to have the power advantage more times than not. He's usually going to have the size advantage, and he was able to play to his strengths here. He could go fast, but he'd always slow it down. He'd slow it down to his pace, and he would overpower Bryan Danielson. On the other hand, Danielson has those big, explosive, offensive drop kicks, chops, and it always makes it look so seamless. And these guys were polished as hell. I thought this was really well done. I thought they had a great match overall. The end. I don't know what happened at the end. They went for like a spinning DDT in the corner, and Miro ends up on his head, and there was really no DDT that happened. Danielson swoops in quick once he hit the mat and gets the DDT anyway and gets the 1, 2, 3. I don't know what happened there. I was honestly a little concerned that Miro might actually have a head injury from this.
At that point, when you're in that bad, you just go home.
Yeah.
And so, but you got to consider the ending. So I'm going to be honest, 3.25.
That's what I went with, 3.25. I would have easily gone higher, but the ending, it did sully it a bit for me. The right guy won. I don't think there's any question here. I don't know that Miro's got enough of the stink of the Kip Sabian thing off of him yet to be in a world title picture, but he's not that far off. And it is starting to get a little crowded at the top. So if Miro is ever going to make a move for it, it probably should be soon. But we will see Bryan Danielson challenging for the world title. And with that, we do have the champ entering the game. Champ, what's up? And I can't hear the champ.
Fail. Had my mic turned down.
There it is.
Well, how are you fellas doing tonight?
We've been better.
You no good sniveling sack of snake feces. You no good ne'er-do-well, you chicken. I don't know how your secret inside source got you the better picks for this AEW show because you clearly got the inside track on WWE, but apparently in this giant layoff that's been going on and everybody getting released, apparently your inside track in WWE has now jumped ship to AEW. That's clearly what happened to you.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Well, you talk about good picks. How about perfect picks?
You were not perfect.
What did I miss?
You missed we'll get there. We're almost there. Actually, that's the match we're coming up to next. We're all wrong on this one. The Bucks and Adam Cole going up against the Lucha Express and Christian Cage match. This thing was an absolute nightmare. I hated this match a lot, and I could do nothing but shit on this thing all night if I really, really wanted to. What did you think, champ?
Okay, I love the frog splash. That was like the best part of the whole goddamn thing. I thought they were trying to do the Eddie like kickback there and had the crowd going. That was the best.
Kickback happened in like 3 different matches, which kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, it was a little overwhelming, but that frog splash was pretty awesome. I thought the camera missed it, like more than anything. Like they panned away as he was jumping, but it looked great in that small shot that they did get. And I'm like, man, they kind of missed that.
It's actually pretty fucking awesome. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I marked the fuck out for that, and
yep.
I didn't mark out as much the second time or the third time in the next few matches. But yeah, no, that was a great spot. Here's the problem. It came during the middle of a car crash with no semblance of order whatsoever. This was a match that I literally think I think Phil and I had this match in high school, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably pretty close.
Probably not that far off.
Probably why I liked it so much.
don't shut your fucking whore mouth. Shut your whore mouth. No, this got really bad. I hate it. It just honestly, I was gonna give it like 2.5, and it just gradually got worse for me. By the time they were up on the entryway doing the knee pads with thumbtacks, just give me a fucking break.
Yeah, the thumbtacks and the mouth thing. Was that what we're talking about?
That was dumb as shit. If you're gonna put thumbtacks in somebody's mouth and super kick them in the mouth, that's the end of the match, and they shouldn't be on TV again for probably 3 months. But no, we had another like 10 minutes of the match to go, and you'll see Jungle Boy on Wednesday. He's fine.
Tony, Jungle Boy's got that inner heart, that inner tenacity. He can overcome multiple stab wounds inside of his head.
Can you?
I like Jungle Boy's next level. Now, I'll be honest. What did you give this, T?
I ended up giving this 175. I hated it. It sucked.
Oh, wow.
The Bucks did not win, which I probably would have given it 2 had the Bucks won, because I predicted the Bucks. I don't even like the Bucks, but I thought they should have gone over here. I don't know. This just felt I didn't like it. Nothing here really appealed to me. 175.
Chicken, what did you give this match?
I didn't give much more. I gave it 2. I thought there was some fun spots. I saw that before the one feed cut out, I'd go back and watch the rest of it, but I did love the 2 table spots. That was pretty cool. I mean,
they timed that well, but
yeah.
I think that was already after the thumbtacks in the mouth, and I'm already checking out.
Yeah, especially when there's no blood. Like, why are you going to put thumbtacks in the mouth and he's not even bleeding out of the mouth? I was like, okay, where's the drama at? And it never came.
Yeah.
Okay.
375.
I really like that match.
Get out. Just get out.
Okay.
Yep.
I enjoyed the shit out of it. 375.
375?
I enjoyed it.
What point of that was actually 375, and how much of that rating is you just being an ass?
Right.
Oh, there's only like 20% of it just me being an ass.
Even then, that puts it at 3 stars, and it was nowhere near 3.
I kind of marked out for the thumbtack in the mouth super
kick.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I would have enjoyed the thumbtacks more if something would have came from it, but nothing did. They did the double super kick with and like it was like that's it. Like we don't get to see any gore. Yeah.
The worst thing. He fucking Jungle Boy had the chance to do the concerto to
Yep.
I think it was Nick or Matt Jackson. He's like, I just don't know if I should do it. Then they put thumbtacks in his mouth and super kick him in the jaw. So by the end of the match, yeah, okay, now I can do this. Splat.
Yeah.
What the? No.
It shows that he's a baby face with morals and principles, and he's got something like. It means that he's got his own code, Tony.
In 2021, that doesn't work.
Yeah. No. I thought about this match. What Jungle Boy's going to think probably about right now is he's passing half of those thumbtacks. That hurt. So, that was sucking stupid. I mean, that was just hated everything about it. Moving along.
AEW events, me and Tony have some of the most wild ratings.
Yeah, we're going to move along because I hated that so much. Number 5 on the match card was the Malachi Black and Andrade Alitolo versus Pac and Cody Rhodes. I wanted to hate this, honestly. I really did. I ended up enjoying this quite a bit. They did do a good job of the story where we're all thrown together. We don't want to be tagging, but we're forced to tag to get our hands on the guy that we actually want to fight.
Right.
But they almost went overboard with it. Like, they started the match with it. That was the middle. And it was kind of the end, too. Like, it never stopped. Like, they started flowing well, and then they'd go right back to the crutch of, oh, we just don't like each other, but we've got to. It was almost too much at one point for me. And Cody ended up doing his theatrics where I think he got kicked in the head. He rolled to the outside, and then he stood there for a really long time when Pac needed a tag, and Arn's over there cuddling his balls like, oh, are you okay, Cody? Are you okay?
We need to make sure like there's no concussions from the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. We need to make sure that he is full and up to his actual health when he gets in the ring. Tony.
Super important.
They did actually wrestle. Honestly, this was very well done, as we expect. All 4 guys are really talented wrestlers, and when they were wrestling, it was good. It was fine. I liked this match. I would actually watch these 4 guys go again in a tag team match, but it was like a thrown together at the last minute thing. There was no story, so I wasn't nearly as invested as I want to be. But they wrestled good. Everything was okay.
They told the story between the ropes, T.
They did. And nothing offended me to the point where I'd get mad, usually with a Cody match. Luckily, there were 3 other people to rein his ass in, because I'm sure he had an idea. Well, let's have Brandy like zip line down in the middle of the ring, and I don't know who's going to get out of retirement to sit in the crowd and wave to me, and that's what Cody does. But I digress. No, he ends up getting taken out of the match over the barricade, and then eventually Pac gets the win. I don't know. I really did not expect Pac and Cody to get the win, and Cody was nowhere to be seen when the actual 1, 2, 3 happened. So I don't know. The ending kind of fell a little flat for me. I wanted something a little bit more contrived, and for once with a Cody match, and I didn't get it. I don't know. And oh God, that's what I was going to mention. Cody is doing a balls out job of trying to get a hot tag in the middle of this thing. Trying so hard. Pac's, I got to get to the corner and get a tag. Cody's over there slapping the turnbuckle, running around. What's happened? Oh, no. No cheers. No hyping up from the crowd. They are booing his ass out of the
arena. That was great. It was a very anti-Cody crowd tonight, or last night, yeah.
Fascinating. I mean, now, Tony, I think that's incorrect.
Oh, yeah?
I think what was happening was the crowd was just so enthralled with Cody. They were just like, ooh, ooh. And you can just hear them all going, ooh. Like, yeah, I think
yeah. How'd you rate this one?
I actually fairly enjoyed it. There was a couple of good spots. That blackout kick early in the fight, the black mass or whatever he calls it. I don't. That was a good spot. And then was it Andrade that did that that 360 weird like barrel roll spin off the top ropes? That was pretty cool. I don't know. It was entertaining in the fact that, you know, I picked Pac and Cody to win, and the crowd was oohing and awing over Cody. Yeah. Made it so much better. I actually enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars.
I went higher. I actually gave it 3.5 just because it didn't insult me, and I'm used to being insulted with Cody matches. So it went past my expectations a bit.
I was kind of disappointed that Arn Anderson didn't give somebody a spine buster, and I'm a little surprised that Cody's like newborn child didn't come down and give somebody a bionic elbow so Cody could get the roll up pin
for the 1 and 2, 3. And they hated it.
Oh,
more.
I marked out. Fuck off. I like whenever I see Cody do one of the dusty moves, I mark out like a motherfucker. I don't care. But I'm apparently a minority in those particular arenas. So interesting to note.
What'd you rate this one?
What'd you give it?
I gave it 3.5.
Well,
you're allowed to agree.
No, I'm gonna give it 3.75.
Oh, get fucking bent.
If Arn would have given somebody a spine buster, it would have been 4 stars.
Oh, I can't even with this guy. I can't even. All right, let's talk about the girls. AEW Women's World Championship. Britt Baker, DMD, defends against Ty Conti. Now,
Ty Conti. Gotta give credit to Ross on that one.
You're just batting 1,000, Phil. All right.
I know.
I don't have a ton to put into this because I kind of just sat back and I enjoyed this one. Ty Conti's really done a good job since she's entered AEW of like winning over the crowd. She doesn't have a ton of personality.
No.
But her work rate has gotten progressively better and better and better. It's not championship level yet, but she showed a lot of potential here. And she's done what she's done this entire tenure of hers, and that's show potential. She did that and some tonight on this one. I really enjoyed the match, but it was the right call. It was fairly competitive, honestly. I thought both of them did a good job on the back and forth. There wasn't anything that like suspended disbelief really here for me. Nothing more so than usual. Britt Baker does a really good job of finding a way to get those comeback spots in just the right spot. Just does enough to cheat to get the upper hand, and it's not overwhelming. It doesn't take you out of the match. I thought this thing flowed really well. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3.25. Britt Baker gets the win.
I gave it a 3.5. I thought Ty Conti actually had a lot more spots on here than Britt. Like it was a very impressive performance from her. So I thought she did well. The timing was good throughout the whole match. It flowed really well. I thought overall, like you said, the suspension of disbelief, like it was great. It was just something you'd sit back and be like, hey, this is a good old fashioned women's match. Like they kicked some ass, both of them. I thought they both did great.
Agreed.
I was going to give this match 3 stars.
Okay.
And then I remembered that Britt Baker was in the Tooth and Nails match. So I figured you got to at least knock off a 1/4 star for that.
That was last year, Phil. That was 2020. You got to forgive.
I still have not fully forgotten, as you can see.
She went to school for 8 years, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm afraid the match was a 3-star match, but the record books will have to have an asterisk of a 2.75 as a continued point docking. But yes, maybe in the beginning of the year 2022, that
you might let that go.
The Christmas season is close to be upon us. That is the season for forgiving. We'll see. We'll see if that, that.
Let's move on to Phil's favorite match of the night, Eddie Kingston and CM Punk. Phil, go ahead.
Okay. Full disclosure. Okay. I was watching this on my phone on YouTube, and I fell asleep halfway through the match.
Did you finish it?
Punk won.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Yes, I did go back and finish, but okay. I'm just making that as a note. Is CM Punk I really loved. I liked his entrance. I liked everything that went into it.
Yep.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Eddie Kingston does not exactly hold my attention.
All right, fair enough. Honestly, I enjoyed this for what it was. The build was phenomenal for this fight. I liked the jump start because it wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to jump on you, start beating your ass before the bell. Kingston laid in a very sneaky like chop to get things started. Punk sells the hell out of it. It was perfect. Kingston really just applied himself to the camera at that point. He's so good at that. He is one of the best promos in the business right now. And he does get that into the match a lot of the time. You see that promo work in the middle of the match with him. That's part of his game. That did it really well here. This was mostly a fight. There wasn't a ton of wrestling here, but it's an Eddie Kingston match. So, yeah, you don't expect the technical prowess to be the big thing. Punk ends up getting juice. Right time.
Yeah, he was bleeding like a son of a bitch. I'll give him that. Like, he was bleeding all over the place.
But the thing about Eddie Kingston that I don't think you give him enough credit for is in this match, the typical Punk spot where he really gets the crowd behind him, he was doing everything he could, and he did everything right to get just that reaction, and the crowd was behind Eddie Kingston.
Yeah,
they were.
That was the big shocker to me was the crowd. It felt like 75% of that crowd was for Kingston. Like you saw a little at the after the entrances go through, but God, I was like, Kingston is
wrestling equivalent to NyQuil according to 10 man. Sorry, that's kind of funny. Sorry, it's a little bit like, all right, can't wait to see how this match goes. Eddie Kingston's on the offense.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for Eddie Kingston to just want to jump on our show for an interview. That's happening.
Yeah, how about Punk's throwback to Cena when he did the shoulder blocks?
Yes. Loved it.
He milked it a little too long.
A little bit. And then the dude, you can't see me thing. And yeah, it's like, all right, you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard to win that fan back.
Like, I liked that better than him trying to do Eddie Guerrero. Because at this point, I'm like, okay, I've seen it tonight. I've seen it.
Yeah.
But whatever, I can forgive. Punk does hit the go to sleep, gets the 1, 2, 3, does it just right, milks.
He hit it twice, didn't he?
Technically, I don't know if that first one was or not. I think we can say it's 2, but yes, He does get the 1, 2, 3 with the go to sleep. And he milks it just enough, gets up. Oh, I can barely stand. And of course, he goes to shake Kingston's hand, and Kingston, I'm out of here, and he leaves. Then the crowd was again fully behind CM Punk. You know what? That might have been an audible. They were probably both reading the room like, let's see how the room's feeling about us. I can either just get out of here, or you can try to shake the hand. We'll see how they're feeling. I can shake your hand. We can give a little hug, or I can blow out of here. I think that was probably an audible play by those guys. Just we'll gauge the room and see what happens. And I think they probably went with the right call. Kingston leaves. I don't think you're going to see a rematch because why would you? So no, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a 3-star match. Nothing amazing. It's probably not fair to say, but the worst CM Punk match he's had in AEW. But that doesn't mean it was bad.
Yeah, he did well throughout it. It was just, it was just, I don't know. It was just bad pairing. It was bad booking. I mean, just, it is what it is. Yeah,
the booking is great until you actually have to have the match.
It's like Terry Funk always used to say, every match is a great match until it starts.
Yeah, sounds about right. I gave it 3 stars as well.
There you go. Phil?
2.75.
Didn't figure you hit the 3. Fair enough. All right. Let's talk about the other wet diaper shit match, and that's American Top Team versus the Inner Circle. I would like to sit here and
Jesus Christ.
I would like to sit here and tell you
Come on, this was an amazing job that Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky did wrestling around 10 other guys. Give him credit on that one.
This was shit. This was dog shit. Here's the best part. We've already seen an Anywhere Falls 6-man. Now we're getting a Minneapolis street fight
where they're still tagging.
They started out tagging 10 guys, 5 on a side, and they started out the match tagging.
Didn't really end that way, though, did it?
I don't know who agented this thing, but fuck you, Chris Jericho, because I know it was you. You fucking douche. What are you doing?
He did seem to come away looking pretty good from this, didn't
Golly, who could have predicted that? Fucking hell, this was a train wreck.
Yeah.
Nothing about this was good. This is my favorite part. Fucking Tony Schiavone and Excalibur are commenting on all the great weaponry being used that was originated from Minneapolis. And then they talk about the history of the fucking device. Oh, a butt cake pan. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is the commentary we're getting on this. Poor JR's sitting there just going, oh, good fucking God. Oh, that was my other favorite part. Fucking Santana and Ortiz have the double Boston Crab camel clutch locked in.
Yep.
And Guevara goes and grabs the football and just launches it at Scorpio Sky, who's locked in the hold. Hits him in the chest. JR goes, gosh, I wish I had that young man on my Sooners team today, because he would have really been a help. Wish somebody on the Sooners was thrown like that.
Like I said, let's give credit to the wrestlers who wrestled around the folks that weren't really wrestling.
I think I just covered all the wrestling that happened in the match.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta say, the idea of the street fight, the Minneapolis street fight, I'm assuming, like, how many people in the match were from Minneapolis?
I don't care enough to find out. I don't.
Yeah.
It was terrible. What was your least favorite part, champ?
There was plenty of those. Was it Sammy Guevara that came off the top of the ladder and landed on got him on the table?
The Jeff Hardy Swanton ladder.
Yeah. They had a good camera angle on that, but I don't think it was as cool as it looked.
I think they had the camera where it needed to be to make it look a little bit more elaborated. Yeah, I agree.
I just didn't feel it. And I don't think the crowd quite felt it either. Like, usually when you have a spot like that, the crowd's like, whoa, but they were like,
they've already seen people get hit with bunt cake pans.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Really, there's only one way this could have been topped. This should have been a stadium stampede
Fuck
match.
you.
Yeah, right?
Fuck you. And,
Oh, God.
There would have been an MMA cage somewhere in the stadium that Junior Dos Santos could have thrown some shadow boxing with somebody standing a little too close and selling it like they're getting hit by just atomic bombs. So, yeah, that's...
there was so much going on.
The one part that I completely missed, and I just looked around. So, like, Jericho's down. God damn it, now I'm forgetting it. Who's the guy in the fucking blue tracksuit?
Oh, Dan Lambert.
Dan. Fucking, and like Dan's like turning him over, and then all of a sudden he's got a fucking kendo stick. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it fucking got to that point. And all of a sudden, fucking Jericho gets up, starts hitting with a kendo stick. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I didn't even bother to rewind and look.
Dos Santos or Vlasky just lay into somebody with some of them kendo sticks because they weren't gonna pull. They were gonna just.
That thing would have shattered. That's probably why they didn't do it.
I don't know. I was confused. I didn't want to rewind because I was like, is it worth it? Probably not. No. I just kept watching.
No, Dan tries to put Jericho in the walls of Jericho, and there's just a kendo stick there, and he's just like,
wasn't there another frog splash in this one too from Jericho?
Yep, there sure was. We had another Eddie Guerrero frog splash because, twice on the same show isn't enough. Got to get a third.
Hat trick.
Tantui as American Top Team versus Inner Circle Stadium Stampede at the MGM in Vegas.
Brilliant.
Fuck you, Tantui.
Brilliant,
man.
Because
make it Madison Square Garden.
It's going to be a lot more gambling references, and AEW loves their gambling references.
So yeah, eventually this did spiral further out of control. Everybody except Jericho and Lambert are gone, and wouldn't you know who won the pony? Jericho ends up pinning Dan Lambert. Golly.
Shocker.
If only I would have suggested I did say he was going to tap him out. Totally wrong. He pinned him 1, 2, 3.
Well, fuck you.
Inner Circle gets the win here. This was dog shit 1.5.
Yeah, I'm not too far ahead of you on that one. I gave it 1.75. Like, I was not entertained. No. Like, hardly at all. There's a couple times I was like, oh, hey, what was that? And that was few and far between.
Yeah, this wasn't even the backyard match that we seen earlier in the show. This was just
This was kind of trash.
Manager, 2 former MMA guys, and a bunch of wrestlers who didn't have anything else to fucking do tonight. So this is like WrestleMania, but one match. Let's do everything and get everybody in it and make sure everybody gets their shitty, stupid idea in. Horrible. Phil?
Justin sent you stars, Tony, for not winning.
Nice. I first of all, Justin, you get 5 stars. Like you get 5 stars as one of the super fans tonight. This match, I got to give it 4.75.
Jesus, I'm about to leave.
Take your glasses off. Show people just the rage, disbelief, and disgust in your eyes when I hit 4.75 on it. No. In reality, I was a lot more entertained than you were.
I'm sorry.
I'm giving it 3 stars.
Sorry, just swallowed my tongue a bit there. Did you say -3?
3 stars.
Oh, +3. Oh, okay.
Yes,
because this is in my ranking. Okay. One of the worst things of the year. So yeah.
But you also said the same thing about the first Stadium Stampede match, and that was actually really
one
good.
Of the worst things.
It's one of the best things I've seen in a long time. It's incredibly entertaining.
We don't need to get into that here.
I know, because I'm right.
No, you're not. You've never been right about that. I'm sorry that you're a mark for Chris Jericho's bad ideas. Moving along.
He gave the mascot the Judas Effect elbow. It was awesome.
And everything that happened in that
match. And 100 yards of Northern Lights.
Oh, my God.
The Stadium Stampede match could have been done over 3-4 weeks on Dynamite, and I would have respected it a hell of a lot more.
Stadium Stampede.
Moving on to the main event. AEW World Title match. Hangman Adam Page challenging Kenny Omega for the world title.
I loved this match.
This was great.
This is my other contender for match of the night. Honestly, I was really Kenny normally doesn't hold my attention like he used to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This one really did, and you were just really hanging on. Is Hangman finally gonna get that buckshot lariat? And the way they teased it when Hangman hit the one-winged angel, I thought 1, 2, and that was a very cool. Then there was the one where Hangman's standing on the turnbuckle, and basically Kenny Omega does a slingshot into the ring.
Yeah, the
flips over, grabs him into a power bomb.
That could have went really bad.
That springboard power bomb was fucking awesome. That was the best spot of the night.
I like
that. Was that one. I stood up. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yep. I gotta agree. That was spot of the night.
Gee, nothing in the fucking Lucha mat or the Jungle Express or
fuck off.
What?
So
None of the spots of the night happened in those. Oh, you mean an actual wrestling move in a wrestling match took the spot of the night? Golly
gee willikers.
Sorry, continue.
I really enjoyed pretty much everything about this match. I loved. The only thing I didn't like was at the end, the Dork Order coming down.
Well,
but that was
that was going to happen.
But other than that, like they had built the desire to make this guy champion for so long. Now the question is, does he draw ratings?
Well, yeah, okay, we'll touch on that, but Chicken, go ahead. Give me any extra thoughts you had on this, and then I'll just kind of give my thoughts.
I'll just go through. I thought there was not only was that fucking spring shot powerbomb was fucking that was like the highlight of the entire night for me, but there was a lot of other good big spots on here. I thought they both did really well on there and selling the match and keeping you into it. Like there wasn't there was a couple of slow moments, but not that many. Like it was, for the most part, it was pretty fast paced through the whole thing. I'm trying to remember. You mentioned the Dark Order came out at the end, so that was kind of like, it is what it is. But overall, I thought this was the best match of the night. I give this one 4 stars.
Okay. Yes, drop a flying elbow on that subscribe button, folks. We need it. Yes. I'll be honest, like you said, Kenny doesn't capture your imagination like he used to, and
that's why it was time to take the belt off him.
I think that's fair, but honestly, it was kind of the same this night. It took me a while to get into this. Like the first half of this match, I wasn't captivated yet because I felt like they've danced around this Hangman title win so long. They either need to shit or get off the pot at this point.
This is the only thing I know about AEW. Like from when you guys got me first into watching it, it's been Hangman Page. Like when's he gonna get it? When's he gonna get it? Like this is the nonstop storyline, and now it's like, holy shit, is this the end of it? I'm like, I was kind of excited to see the climax of it. Hopefully, now Phil's point, like, where do we go from here now, though?
Yeah, by the time I finally did get into it, it was probably about half over, and that's when they really started gelling. And that's what I said yesterday was they have a good flow, they have a good rhythm, they know each other, they've been partners, they've had matches, and once they got going, seamless, very good. And
they did have tag team match of the year last year.
Yep.
Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks. And that was undoubtedly the tag team match of the year.
We're talking about Full Gear 2021, and no, that's relevant, Phil.
But it's true though,
right? Anywho, so I don't know. This got a little convoluted at the end for me with the Young Bucks coming down, and they just kind of stood there. And once Page got the upper hand, they just kind of gave him a little solemn nod. What does this mean? Like, what are we supposed to infer from this? What seed are we planting? Right. I don't know, honestly. Is this, okay, you earned it, go ahead, we won't fuck with you? Or is this
they weren't in Hangman Page's corner the last time,
Excalibur
and bullshit. Now they're gonna see it through.
Whatever. I don't care.
Because apparently they're the baby faces.
That's just it. Like you just saw these guys shove thumbtacks in somebody's mouth and super kick them, but now
they're doing they
did an honorable come out, like they didn't even need to come out then. I don't know. I didn't love that spot. It didn't make a lot of sense, but
it did kind of strike me that the Bucks came out and they did that like knowing nod, like the teacher in some musical that's like we're like, yes, the students starting to finally get it. Yes,
exactly.
Like why is this a thing?
What did you rate this one, Phil?
4.25.
I went 3.75. And that's only because the first half didn't rip me into attention. It took a while to get going.
I didn't expect it to start off super fast though. When you have a build up like this, the first 2 to 5 minutes are going to be bullshit.
Yeah, but I think the match before this probably hurt it a lot in my rating, just because I was just exhausted on the card at this point. Like, goddamn, I had to watch that shit Inner Circle clusterfuck match, and now I've got to enjoy this. I think that probably hurt it a lot for me. So I don't think that should have been the lead into the main event, but I digress. But no, it was really good. I could easily give it 4 as well. They are seamless. They're good together. The question you asked is, can Adam Page draw? That is a legitimate question because at this point, I don't know. The crowd likes him. They've always liked him. They've always been behind him.
He's a fresh new face.
He's
but
fresh enough, but
is he a star?
Well, they haven't
remains
done
to
him
be
any
seen.
favors in that department because when he's not challenging for a title, he's doing some of the worst shit imaginable, like with the Dark Order, and it's not believable. Is the world champion a shit-faced drunk riding around on a lawnmower with 10 goof bags? No. So it's been up and down with Adam Page since he's been with AEW, and they wanted to see him as the champ. Is he going to have the same problem that Drew McIntyre had, where we want to see him win the belt really badly, but now that he's the champ, do we want to see him as the champ? That I don't know.
So what I call, as much as I hate to say, I call that Dean Ambrose syndrome.
Well,
not necessarily John Moxley syndrome, but definitely
Drew
Dean
McIntyre
Ambrose
has good matches.
Is anybody upset that we're not going to see Omega Danielson?
We'll see that eventually.
Yeah, that's going to happen eventually.
It's going to be a damn good match when it happens, and now they'll have some time to actually put some program into it rather than we're just fighting for time.
Fair.
That was the only reason I picked Omega to win this match, was because I'm like, I assume we're getting Danielson Omega for the title. Why wouldn't we? So that, and then as soon as I started talking about, oh shit, Paige has got this, because yes, it was a year ago that they had the match before, the singles match. This is the return. It's been a full year.
Yeah.
And then then they said, and Dynamite, Adam Page returns to his hometown. I'm like, well, fuck. Wish I'd have known that yesterday.
Yep.
Whatever. So, yeah, no.
Now, the
thing
right is, though, Tony, if you would have known that, you've seen too much WWE to the point where you'd have thought, well, clearly they're going to make him job out in his hometown like they do to everybody.
He's
like
got a good
Sasha
point.
Banks and everybody else.
Everybody. Yeah, he's got a point there. No, I don't know if he'll be a long-term draw. I don't expect this to be a lengthy reign. So you could see a title change as soon as the next big pay-per-view. I don't know.
Do you think he's the transition to put it on like a CM Punk or somebody of the like?
I think he probably is at this point, because they bumbled his booking so badly. I mean, they still had enough interest in him to justify putting the belt on him, and they had to see this storyline through, and now they've done that.
Do you think they dare put the belt on Sting?
I don't think so.
I don't even think, please no.
I don't even think Sting will go.
I would mark the fuck out. I'll be honest.
Of course you would.
until you watched a match, and then you'd be like,
oh, you. Like, I'm sorry. If it's a WCW late 90s star that's making a comeback,
okay, a couple of things tonight. I got a question for you guys. A couple of things tonight. So you saw mixed crowd reactions, in the Punk Kingston fight. Even even the MGF Darby Allin, like, you saw mixed crowd reaction. Like, and then as we're talking, so Paige has the belt now. We're talking CM Punk. We're talking Bryan Danielson. Like, there's too many faces right now. Who's most likely to take a heel turn? Because I think, I thought we would see a heel turn or two or on this pay-per-view, but we didn't. Not the ones. Nothing like I was expecting. I kind of was hoping CM Punk would do a heel turn, and it was set up for it, and he didn't do it, and I was just like, oh my god. So obviously they want to keep him as face.
He's making too much merchandise off of being a babyface at the moment, and that's probably part of the deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a babyface for a little while. But yeah, he would be a perfect heel to be the foil to this new Hangman Page babyface that we've got.
I think the biggest problem with faces and heels is this is AEW, and they've done a lot of extra work we don't buy into those old tropes of babyface and heel. Except you have a babyface and heel entrance for baby faces and heels on your fucking stage. And
I think they just need to go whole hog and just have Cody turn full heel.
Well, he won't do it. That's the problem. That's where I was.
Cody the Hollywood.
Cody would be a great heel right now. It would be the perfect time to do the heel turn on Cody.
There's no better time, because right now he's got the go away heat that Roman Reigns had years ago. Now that Roman Reigns has embraced being a heel, they love to boo this guy. He's getting the reaction that they want him to get, and he wants to get, and they want to give him. It's legitimate now. Cody right now has that go away heat, and it's because of, golly, some brilliant man said, "I think he's doing too much. I think he's doing too much. I think he's giving him a little too much of himself. I think he's overthinking things."
No.
Wouldn't you know it? Over a year later, the crowd finally fucking turns on him. They finally had enough of the shtick. It's time to turn Cody heel, but Cody won't go for it. And eventually he's going to have no choice. And when he does it, it's probably going to be fantastic. Cody would make a good heel. When Punk does eventually turn heel, it'll be great because he's a great heel. When they do decide, if they do decide to move Miro up into that upper tier, Miro could be that heel that they never let him be in WWE as a world champion because he was always kind of on the cusp, just never got over the hump because of bad booking. Miro could be that guy. He showed that a lot tonight if the guy's not concussed. With Jon Moxley entering rehab, he was kind of geared towards a heel turn. That probably sets that back quite a bit. Eddie Kingston's technically a heel, but he's not that level, not even close. He's just kind of the fall guy. He's the guy you plug into a match when you need somebody to take a fall and be a heel. The Bucks and Omega, really, I'm sorry. I think they have failed as heels. Like, the Bucks and Omega are better as heels because they're natural, swarmy pricks.
Yep.
But they're not, like, getting heat from the crowd. They're just kind of, you're not even getting a real reaction from these guys.
There's fuck you heat, then go away heat.
They're getting big boss man level heat as heels.
Ouch.
And that's the thing. Like, if you look at the guys who originally started this company with fucking...
I still like the Bucks matches. I know you don't, but...
If you look at Cody and the Bucks and Omega, the guys that made this company, your EVPs, look at the reaction that they're getting now. Now that this company is a life of its own and you've got real star power in there, that's not one of those guys. Now that you've got Danielson, now that you've got Punk and Miro, and you've got potential other people coming in, I'm just saying, look at the reaction that they get now, and it's cooled down a lot. Or in Cody's case, it's completely nuclear go away heat. So the guys that founded this thing, the diehards have even kind of, well, I really don't want to see you right now. So it is time for a fresh, legitimate heel. Who will it be? I don't know. I don't know.
I hate to say, I think the way a lot of Cody fans turn on Cody, the neck tattoo.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
the neck tattoo was the...
Like, you're so fucking
it.
full of yourself.
That was the turning
like,
point, yep.
Now, granted, I get why he did it, because look at the Stardust costume.
Yeah.
And he can't put back on the Stardust costume without it still showing that American Night. So Stardust can never erase Cody Rhodes. I get why, but it's still, dear God.
Yeah, unless Omega's going to stay a heel, which I don't think he will at this point. If Moxley comes back and he turns heel, I don't think he's going to be able to fill that void either. I think it's good. Honestly, Chris Jericho was a great heel when he was on top and he was the champion. I don't think he can go back to that now. I really don't. It's kind of on MJF to take that mantle, in my opinion. MJF's
probably the best. Yeah.
Honestly, he's the best heel in.
Is he up enough in the card, though? I mean,
he's wrestled for the world title before, but they just, it's not that they don't trust him. It's just that they want to do other things with him before they finally pull the trigger. And when he's
a great undercard crowd pleaser. Like, I mean,
I think he can do it no matter what level he's put into. And I think if they put him into another world title picture, which I don't think they're going to anytime soon because you've got Punk and Danielson. So I think
you got too many big names right now to be thrown at it. Like, adding MJF to the mix doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think that's why they want to turn Moxley heel, because he's been champion before, so he's kind of in that level. So when they do get him back, he can play heel for a little while, and then they can trade the belt around a little bit. But I would say within 2
I think
years,
you need a heel now. I think you need a new heel now.
Yeah.
Punk's the only one that makes sense to me.
I agree. And I think you got to go out and you got to get one. And Malachi Black could move up the card too. That's another one I was thinking.
It's not the name you need, though. Like,
no,
if you could get if you get Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, and have Punk be the heel, like, everybody knows who they are. Yeah. You got the MMA crowd, you got the WWE crowd. Like, there's so many people that would hear that not knowing what AEW is,
Yeah.
they would hear CM Punk against Bryan Danielson. What? We're doing
that
this?
match has to happen. Probably happen at Double or Nothing here in
Yeah.
May or April.
You want to see this? You want to see AEW get some ratings? Holy shit! Having that arc would be great.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna make a new heel, Cody has to kind of be it, but he won't be it. And if you're gonna take one that's already there, the crowd's too behind Malachi Black, so you can't shift him up. Miro would be my next choice, but yeah, I'm going to be an MJF mark forever because the guy's so damn good at being a heel. But yeah, I don't see him pulling the trigger on him just yet. But yeah,
and in all of that conversation, we never talked about Adam Page.
Yeah, and there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's the scary part. Is he really going to be the
Yeah, exactly. The one thing we did gloss over, I forgot to mention after the awful Inner Circle match was Jay Lethal, All Elite, and he'll be challenging Sammy Guevara for the TNT title on Dynamite, and I'm gonna watch that because I've always liked Jay Lethal. So looking forward to Dynamite this week, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of direction they go with Page now. I don't think he'll be rehashing more with Omega just yet. I would assume something fresh. So I'm excited to see him and Danielson. I'm excited to see where they go with a lot of this. So I'm actually looking forward to AEW this week. You know, it's just, what can they do with Page now moving forward? So that has yet to be seen.
This will be an interesting one to see, but folks,
unless one of you got something else, let's take it.
I sure don't.
As I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us here at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast for all of our results and reviews of Full Gear 2021. Hey there, Alesto TV. Yes, nerds talking nerd things. And I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE. You can find me at KOE Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and now TikTok. But you need to like, share, subscribe right here to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Also follow us on Big Buckin' Empire on Facebook and YouTube. Also, follow us on Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, KOE Nation. Also, follow this guy, Norwalk IRL on YouTube. Follow this guy, Tony the Rod 2.0 on TikTok. Folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I cannot wait to find all of you back here happy, healthy, much the wiser. God bless, and I'll see you around next time. Tony, Chicken, take it away.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. As always, appreciate you. Love you.
So, I've got nothing much else, folks. Of course, yes, join us coming up. Big Buck and Empire on Facebook and Dog and Chicken Show on YouTube and Spotify for Thirsty Thursdays this week. Episode 114. Like, share, subscribe there. And, of course, the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. Like, share, subscribe because, folks, we're just a week out from WWE Survivor Series. So, champ, I'm afraid that title's not exactly safe just yet. You got another big one coming up, and I usually do pretty damn well at Survivor Series. So I will say,
I usually do really bad at AEW events, but
hey, I wanted the last one. I wanted with the thing and
the thing and the stuff and the things that happen. But
we will see you right back here next week for Survivor Series. Make sure you subscribe for the predictions, the preview, and, of course, on Sunday for the results and the review. We will see you then. Bye-bye, folks.
And see if it just smooths itself out.
Back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you. Raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost. We gotta take it down. Let you down slow. It's hard to survive.